So I'm really lucky today because I'm on the Home and Family set, and I happen to bump into and meet Michael Green, who is the Executive Director of the Environmental, let me get this right, the Environmental...
Center for Environmental Health.
Center for Environmental Health, which is, as you know, completely up my street. This man, Michael, has such a wealth of information that I just want to share, just sort of, you know, put everything that he's got to say and just to share it with you. But we're only here for a couple of minutes. So welcome
Thank you.
To the
fun.
Gorgeously Green audience.
This is fun.
And first off, will you tell me what your organization does?
Sure. Our job is to protect people from toxic chemicals. So that means in consumer products that they come into contact with, from the food and water that they eat and drink, from their air, and we do that mostly by either collaborating with leading green companies or kicking the butts of laggard companies that are just trying to make a quick buck at the expense of people's health.
Wow. And if we want to help,
yeah,
because I know that now with social media, as consumers, we have a voice now. Mm-hmm. How can we help you doing your job?
Well, I love that question, of course. And one thing that people can do, they can start to get informed about some of the issues that we work on. And I'll tell you what some of them are in a minute. By signing on, and then they would get action alerts from us. If they sign on to our action alerts, then what that allows them to do is about twice a month, they'll get an email from us. So not very often. And it won't be a fundraising pitch. It'll be a, please sign on to this letter to this CEO asking them to do X.
Great.
Or please sign on to this action asking this senator or President Obama or whoever to take this action.
Great.
And so what it does is, and sometimes it's actually praising and thanking some company. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's actually hammering them, or sometimes it's trying to influence the political process. But all of it is about protecting the health of us and our families.
Oh, that's amazing.
And our principal focus is mothers and children.
Okay, which is a lot of us. Most of us are mothers and children. You know, what's so great about what Michael just said, and I love, is that these emails that we're going to get, it doesn't cost us any time, because I've signed petitions a lot, online petitions. It takes me 30 seconds, but I have a voice and I want it to be heard, and it doesn't cost me any money. They're not putting their hand out for money. Now, so please check it out and see what you can do to help. Now, there's so much that you do, and it's so important, your work, and I really appreciate what you're doing. Just for the sake of time, because we don't have too long, if for women out there, mothers, and you know, who've got either young children or grandmothers, what would you say is one of the most important, what's an issue that you that you can give us today?
So I'm only going to pick one.
Just pick one, and we'll come back and we'll do more.
Yeah, maybe we'll do this 10 times.
Exactly.
And then there'll be 10.
Exactly. We'll do a series.
So the one that I was thinking of when we were sitting down is around food contact plastics. So when we're storing food in plastic, the plastic is made out of petroleum plus all these chemical additives, man-made chemical additives. And so inevitably, some of those chemicals leach into the food or the drink that is being held by that. So for example, my daughter Gigi, who's 5, for a long time she had this pink sippy cup with the princesses, and she adored it, and she carried it around with her, and she wouldn't drink out of anything else. But I knew that that pink sippy cup had some things in it which I didn't want her ingesting. Mm-hmm. So I tried to get her to drink out of the really what I thought was a pretty pink stainless steel cup. But she wasn't that interested in it. And so we fought all the time. And sometimes she would win, and sometimes I would win. But whenever she won, I would always worry, what is she getting? What grams or even micrograms is she getting that may have long-term health impacts? Obesity, early puberty, cancer, reproductive problems later in life. And so, and this is what I do for a living, and I don't know. So parents shouldn't have to worry. And there's a simple solution. And that is to use as little plastic as possible for storing drinks and storing food. And you can use ceramic plates, you know, just like we all have. And for cups, you can use stainless steel. For babies, you can use glass baby bottles. I have a 7-year-old and a 5-year-old. We broke one baby bottle in the entire time bringing both those kids up, and they only used glass. Wow. So they don't break. No. And so basically to use natural materials, steel or glass or wood or ceramic. And so that's something that parents can really do. And it's not just parents of small kids, because you and I and everybody else are still being marketed buying things in plastic. And so the more we can actually not do that,
right,
the better for our health. And one key super important thing is to not microwave in plastic, because that accelerates the process of those chemicals leaching into the food.
Right. Well, that is a fantastic tip. And you know, also that would include plastic wrap, would it? Like if you're wrapping something, warm food in plastic wrap.
Sure.
Right.
Especially if it's warm food, yes.
Right. And also the other great takeaway that I found from Michael with that, which I again try to sort of educate my community a lot, is that it's not that you're going to be struck down ill or dead from a particular toxin in our environment, but it's the cumulative action. Right. And so I have a 12-year-old, and I know most of you have got children, and it is, as you say, it's just, you know, it's not that one drink out of a sippy cup, but it's repeatedly over time, and it's also what might show up in 30 years' time in that child's body. So it's so important. I thank you very much for chatting with me and my community, and I hope we can do a lot more of these videos. Thank you very much.
Thank you.